A security camera in rural Washington state captured something walking past a house at 3:12 a.m. that stood over 8 feet tall. The homeowner didn't notice until reviewing footage 3 days later. What you're about to see are 15 documented creature encounters, each one captured on camera by people who weren't looking for anything unusual. No elaborate stories. Just the footage, the facts, and what happened after. This is what exists in places we're told nothing unusual lives. Encounter number 1, the Pale Wanderer. Washington State, August 2024, 3:12 a.m. A motion-activated security camera outside a rural home triggers automatically. The footage shows a figure crossing the driveway approximately 8 feet tall, pale white skin, moving with an unusual gait that doesn't match human locomotion. The homeowner, reviewing footage days later, noticed the figure carried what appeared to be a small animal or doll clutched against its chest. There are no mental health facilities nearby, no missing person reports filed in the surrounding counties that week. The property sits 4 miles from the nearest paved road. Local sheriff's department reviewed the footage but found no explanation and no physical evidence at the scene. The figure was never seen again. Encounter number 2, the Cave Crawlers. Location withheld, March 2025. A group exploring a remote cave system in the southwestern United States captured approximately 40 seconds of footage showing multiple humanoid figures moving through the darkness. The figures don't walk forward or backward, they shift laterally, crawling along cave walls with joints bending in ways human anatomy doesn't allow. The explorers reported the figures made no sound despite moving rapidly across rough stone surfaces. When they attempted to approach, all movement stopped simultaneously. Complete silence. They exited the cave immediately and reported the encounter to park rangers. A search team entered the cave 3 days later and found no evidence of human presence, no footprints, no disturbed sediment, nothing. The cave system was closed to public access shortly after. Encounter number 3, night vision contact. Michigan Forest Preserve, November 2024, 11:47 p.m. A solo camper using night vision equipment to film nocturnal wildlife captured something standing approximately 60 yards from his campsite. The figure stood motionless for 14 minutes, confirmed by the timestamp. Height estimated at 7 to 8 feet based on surrounding trees. Broad shoulders, no visible clothing or equipment. When the camper stood up and called out, the figure didn't respond or move. When he took 3 steps forward, it turned and walked into deeper forest, not running, just walking with deliberate, measured steps. The camper packed his equipment and drove to the nearest town that night. He submitted the footage to wildlife authorities, who confirmed no known animal in that region matches the figure's profile. Encounter number 4, the Riverbank Watcher, Oregon, June 2024. A fisherman recording his catch on his phone inadvertently filmed something standing on the opposite riverbank. The figure is partially obscured by vegetation but clearly visible for approximately 8 seconds. What makes this encounter notable? The figure appears to be covered in dark hair or fur, standing completely still, watching the fisherman with what witnesses described as deliberate focus. When the fisherman's dog began barking and pulling toward the river, he turned his phone camera back to the spot. The figure was gone. No movement visible in the brush, no sound of departure. The riverbank at that location has a 1.5-foot drop into rocky terrain difficult to navigate silently and quickly. Biologists who reviewed the footage noted the proportions don't match black bears, which are common in the region. Encounter number 5, Suburban Intrusion. Suburban Neighborhood, Ohio, February 2025, 1:33 a.m. A Ring doorbell camera captured something walking down a residential street. The figure moves on 2 legs but with a shuffling, irregular gait, height approximately 6 to 7 feet. No visible face in the infrared footage, just a dark silhouette. What disturbed residents? This same figure appeared on 3 different doorbell cameras over a 4-5-minute period, all within a 4-block radius. It walked the same route 3 times, always staying in the middle of the street, never approaching homes directly. Police were called. When officers arrived, they found no one and no physical evidence. No homeless individuals were reported in the area. No residents matched the description. The figure hasn't appeared since, despite continuous camera monitoring. Encounter number 6, the Forest Ritual. Tennessee Wilderness Area, October 2024. Hikers discovered a clearing containing an elaborate arrangement, inverted pentagram, candles, bones, and seashells, positioned in geometric patterns. While photographing the site, one hiker's camera captured movement in the background, a cloaked figure approximately 200 yards away, watching from the tree line. The figure remained visible for approximately 30 seconds before disappearing into forest. When hikers returned to the clearing 2 days later with authorities, everything was gone. The ground showed no evidence of disturbance. Local occult experts suggested the arrangement required significant time and effort to construct, making its complete removal in under 48 hours logistically difficult. Encounter number 7, Alaskan Howler. Remote Alaska Wilderness, July 2024, 7:15 p.m. A solo metal detectorist working a remote area captured audio and brief visual evidence of something unusual. First, a howl unlike any documented Alaskan wildlife, too deep for wolves, too sustained for bears. Second, large rocks being thrown into nearby water from an unseen source. Third, brief glimpse of something moving between trees, large, dark, bipedal. The individual retreated immediately. Audio analysis by wildlife experts couldn't identify the vocalization. The rock throws were documented at approximately 40 to 50 yards, requiring significant strength to achieve that distance. No explanation has been provided. Encounter number 8, the Colorado Brown Figure. Colorado Mountain Trail, August 2024. A hiker photographing landscape inadvertently captured a large brown figure standing among distant trees. The figure is partially obscured but clearly visible when the image is enhanced. Estimated height, 7 to 8 feet based on surrounding vegetation. The hiker didn't notice anything unusual when taking the photo. Only upon reviewing images at home did the figure become apparent. The location is known locally as a Bigfoot hotspot, with multiple historical sightings reported over decades. Skeptics suggest it's a hiker in dark clothing, but the proportions and stance don't match human anatomy. The hiker returned to the exact spot the following day. No evidence of human presence was found. Encounter number 9, construction site crawler. Undisclosed construction site, April 2025. Workers on break captured footage of something crawling across the construction area. The creature moved on all fours but with a disturbing fluidity that didn't match any known animal. Then it vanished, completely. No movement toward cover, just gone. Workers checked the area immediately. No footprints, no disturbance in the dirt, nothing. The footage shows clear movement for 8 seconds, then the frame where it should still be visible shows nothing. Construction was delayed while the site was inspected. No explanation was ever provided. Encounter number 10, railway apparitions. Railway security camera, location undisclosed, January 2025, 11:34 p.m. Security footage captured 3 pale, human-shaped figures standing on railway tracks. 2 on the left side, 1 on the right. The figures remained visible for approximately 4 minutes, barely moving. No trains passed, no personnel were in the area, no technical malfunction was detected. The guard on duty watched in real time, unable to explain what he was seeing. By the time backup arrived, the figures were gone. Railway history shows multiple fatalities at this location over past decades, leading some to suggest a paranormal connection. Encounter number 11, the tall dark figure. Private property, Tennessee, December 2024, 4:47 a.m. Trail camera captured something holding what appeared to be a coyote carcass. Based on the cabin in the background, the figure stood approximately 7.5 to 8 feet tall. The outline is vague, but the posture and the way it held the animal suggested intelligence and purpose. Property owner stated, "This is private land. Nobody uses it except me and my father, and no one in this area is anywhere near that tall." Some suggested it was a poacher standing on elevated ground, but the property owner disputes this based on terrain knowledge. The figure hasn't appeared again despite continuous camera monitoring. Encounter number 12, Lake Travis Humanoid. Lake Travis, Texas, summer 2023. A biology professor testing a new camera captured a humanoid figure standing among trees near the shoreline. The figure appeared human in shape but exhibited unusual characteristics in the photograph, almost translucent in certain lighting conditions. Lake Travis has dark history, 17 drownings in 5 years, 9 disappearances over several decades with bodies never recovered. Some suggested the figure was a ghost rather than a physical creature. The professor submitted the image to paranormal investigators and wildlife experts. Neither group could definitively explain it. Encounter number 13, Yellowstone Giant. Yellowstone National Park, September 2024. Tourists filming bears inadvertently captured a large humanoid figure walking in the background. The figure's gait appeared human, but its size suggested otherwise, estimated at 8 to 9 feet tall based on surrounding landmarks. Yellowstone is a known Bigfoot hotspot with numerous historical sightings. Skeptics argue the footage is AI-generated or digitally altered, pointing to unusual movement patterns where multiple background figures seem to appear and disappear. The original uploader maintains the footage is authentic and unedited. Park officials have not commented. Encounter number 14, the Cornfield Watcher. Rural farmland, Midwest United States, October 2024. A farmer monitoring his cornfield with a trail camera captured something standing among the crops at night. In the darkness, a tall figure appeared to be motionless in the middle of the field. The farmer checked a daytime photo from the same camera position. The field was completely empty. Nothing there that could explain the nighttime figure. Some viewers suggested it was moisture on the camera lens, creating pareidolia, the mind seeing patterns where none exist. Others noted the figure's distinct shape and positioning made the lens moisture theory unlikely. The farmer continues monitoring but hasn't captured the figure again. Encounter number 15, the Canadian Forest Watcher. Boreal Forest, Canada, May 2024. A hiker felt watched and used his camera to zoom toward distant tree line. The footage captured something standing among the trees, large, dark, with a head that appeared oddly shaped. Initial impression, black bear, but the head structure looked wrong, almost ape-like or humanoid. Canada has no native ape species, making this observation particularly unsettling. The hiker speculated it might be a young Bigfoot based on size and behavior. He didn't approach. He left immediately. No follow-up investigation was conducted. 15 encounters. 15 pieces of footage captured by people who weren't looking for anything unusual. No elaborate explanations. No definitive answers. Just documented evidence that something exists in remote areas, forests, caves, rural properties that doesn't match known wildlife classifications. Trail cameras don't lie. Security footage doesn't imagine. Cell phone videos capture what's actually there. The question isn't whether these encounters happened, the footage confirms they did. The question is, what exactly are people capturing? If you've seen something similar, you're not alone. Subscribe for more documented encounters that challenge what we think we know about the natural world. Thanks for watching.